In the first episode of the experimental beta, we explore many of its new mechanics and even plan the location of our future castle. In this episode, we'll develop the city even further, so our people are capable of building such a fortress. Let's get to it. We leave the fantastic planner behind and get to work developing the city so we can build the castle. We'll start by updating our wood and fuel industries. Not quite at the level of road in past, but enough to give MEGACITY's development a good boost. We're building logging camps, woodcutter lodges, saw pits and charcoal kilns to produce charcoal. More efficient than firewood and also an exportable good that will bring in more wealth. And we'll make this operation sustainable with forester huts that will replant the trees. All this will require an army of workers we don't have yet, so we'll activate the wood industry gradually. I check for space to add more charcoal kilns later if we want to expand production, though I doubt it will be necessary. With all that regional wealth, we can expand a few more backyards. Let's get some goats and pigs. Tool production is running a bit tight, and I suspect the bottleneck is iron, so we'll assign one more worker. We assign workers and oxen to timber extraction. We also assign some workers to reforestation, or we'll soon run out of trees in this area. Time for another round of housing construction. We add a new path across the block and rotate some outer houses to give the city a more varied and organic look. That's enough for now. Now that we're producing charcoal, we can start exporting the surplus. We should have 2 sheep somewhere around here, but I can't find them. Do you see them? Either way, let's double imports to 4 sheep and 4 lambs to speed up early growth. We expand the stone industry with a lime kiln, we'll need that later, and also add a stonemason's camp. Bandits are stealing from us again. Let's steal their lives in return. The first bandits start to fall. And bandits defeated. Let's start with some goats, so we get meat and hides. More wealth for the city. Still, no new sheep or lambs showing up, so we'll assign another worker to the animal trader and see if that speeds up imports. Lime kiln completed, let's take a closer look. Quite a nice building, and the power of levitation as well. We'll assign a worker and see how it operates. Let's build a second warehouse and granary, even if we don't need the extra capacity just yet. We complete this area with more houses. Here we can see the lime kiln in action. A simple but very clever structure. Basically, workers stack layers of limestone alternating with firewood, which burns for days. The intense heat causes the limestone to lose carbon dioxide and turn into calcium oxide, which is then used to make a very useful mortar for construction. And that's the mortar we'll use along with the cut stone for the castle walls. The economy is going great, so we can expand our retinue a bit. The mountains in the horizon really enhance the views of this map, which has plenty of charm besides its central lake. By the way, it's time to pay a visit to the AI. They've developed a bit more, but they're still at a mid-tier village level. And I don't see a manor house yet. Maybe they're not able to build it. For now, our wood industry is growing faster than reforestation, so we'll need to balance that over time. Winter's about to end, and this year it's time to work the fields. Let's start preparing them. And now we can finally see the first ship. We can't seem to get past 70% approval, and one of the goods requested by level 2 households is clothing, so let's start producing it. With this weaving workshop, we can process wool into yarn so as to make clothes. And in this level 2 house, we'll have the tailor making them. Markets are well stocked. We'll try to start the fields this year, even though we're still short on workers. Foresters can't keep up, so we'll temporarily move part of the wood industry to this forested area, as we will urbanize it later. Checking the pastures, I noticed there are more animals than we imported, which means they're reproducing. Indeed, we have 2 more lambs than expected, so we can confirm that sheep reproduce without any development point, which is a welcome change. Notice that the tailor can now make clothes from both wool and linen. If there's a wild berry node in your region, it's best to define the logging area clearly, unless it's too far, because if the loggers cut down the berry zone, goodbye berries. We will expand the stables, since the ox and horse population will keep growing along with the city. By the way, I could swear in the previous version there was room for only 1 ox per farm, and now there are 2, a great improvement. Time to complete these sections of Beta City's perimeter and expand it with another field plot and more homes with vegetable gardens to generate more surpluses we can sell. I was tempted to go full road simulator mode, but I promised myself to keep this mini-series simple. Well, not too simple. Here I want a roughly radial layout of houses, so I make a small plaza from which the homes will spread out. The game doesn't make it easy, but with patience, almost anything is possible. Some small flax gardens for decoration. The fields aren't doing bad, though a bit late. That's what happens when you assign families on the fly, but we'll harvest something, at least. We build the second windmill, which, by the way, seems to increase the other's efficiency. I think that's new too. We build the vegetable gardens. Oof, something will grow in the Sahara sooner than there. We build the malt house, ready for when we harvest some barley. Reforester's work is starting to show. And iron is running out. We still have plenty of tool in stock, but eventually we'll have to start importing iron, not cheap. Basically, we need huge amount of planks and cut stone. Everything else we already have. The area is now cleared of trees, so we'll relocate the lumber buildings back to the intensive zone. We're quite comfortable in resources, plenty of food, fuel and wealth in the treasury. We build bakeries, which also get efficiency bonuses when near mills. I really like the organic direction this game is taking. When you place related buildings together or take advantage of the natural environment, it gives you realistic benefits, which is very cool. Since we're doing well financially, let's expand the retinue again. This building needs quarry rock to start cutting stone. Surface rocks don't work. Let's make the most of the surface deposit first, and soon we'll build a huge quarry complex. We'll set up several foods we produce in good quantity to export their surplus. Notice that queens counts as a minor trade, while pears and apples are major trade. You have to unlock those roots, but their selling price is much higher. That leads us to expand housing with fruit trees on this beautiful plot here. In a normal series, I would have most of the streets planted, but sometimes great plots come out of pure improvisation. This one fits in naturally. This orientation doesn't quite work. So the third house will face a different direction. Our well is already not enough. Time to upgrade it and build another one. Here is perfect, along with some decorative garden. And even though I know this area is horribly infertile, doesn't matter, it looks nice, so we'll make a field anyway. We dismantle the depleted iron mine, freeing up workers. Now it's time to build the quarry complex that will make castle construction possible. Our markets are at their logistical limit, so let's reinforce warehouse and granaries. We unlock the pricey but juicy trade routes for those delicious pears and apples. Looks like we're short on fuel, let's fix that. Look at that, what a beautiful quarry. It even has an invisible force field to protect it from rain. Advanced medieval technology ahead of its time. Oh, quite a big bandit group. Just in case, let's prepare and equip some spearmen. We built the joiner's workshop to make shields, and since we need them quickly, we'll import some spears too. And since we've got plenty of money in the treasury, let's upgrade the retinue's equipment. Workers can levitate too. Oh, that one lost the ability. I'm quite sure this visual glitch will be fixed soon. The bandits are about to cross the AI's village, and I doubt they will just pass by. This AI, by the way, does have a manor house. And yep, looks like the bandits are going all in on the AI's village. Let's watch the fireworks. And it seems the AI has no defenders, though I remember reading they should be able to summon a small retinue from the manor. Now I'm noticing sudden FPS drop, and in this game that usually means smoke and fire. And yes, the AI village is completely on fire. What a spectacle. And this was the most advanced AI, the others don't even have a manor house. Oh wait, this one does too. Alright, looks like the bandits are satisfied and won't be visiting us. Still, we'll keep making shields just in case. Our city is turning out too spectacular. And why too? Because Aetius is crazy, and if he sees potential, he can't help himself. The idea was for Beta City to be a mid-sized town, build a modest castle and explore the beta features. But seeing how it's turning out, and all those clickbait videos popping up, with AI thumbnails promising huge castles and cities, but building fortresses the size of chicken coops, well, all that has awakened Aetius' inner monster, and there's no turning back now. Beta City won't be modest anymore. It will grow unstoppable with grand plazas, wide avenues, high-tier housing, spectacular markets, and an impregnable fortress. Beta City will be a majestic city worthy of the amazing work behind this experimental beta, and of the incredible Manor Lords community. So, a megacity with a mega fortress is coming, and a lot of road simulator too. Our sheep population keeps growing. We've got our first cut stones, though we still need several hundred more. And this is where Aetius' inner monster starts emerging, with this tavern on the other side of the avenue. But really, how could we not make a mega city when I start by building a double avenue across half the plateau? With an avenue like that, there's no way this city stays modest. And then there's the road tool, the most powerful thing in this game. Because with it, you start seeing beyond the next house. You see the whole neighborhood, the avenue intersections, the commercial district, the row of garden homes, the great plazas, etc. The dangerous thing about the road tool is how it can spark your imagination and creativity to absurd levels. If you haven't tried it that way, do it. Don't use the roads just to connect things, use them to draw and to imagine. And that's the danger of long paths. Sometimes you delete a section thinking it's short and end up erasing a long one, but it's fixable. Here I picture how to integrate the fortress with the rest of the city, and I feel the urge. Aetius, build an outer palisade to make the fortress even bigger. No, stop, this was supposed to be a short, simple mini-series. we simplified this layout a bit, it was too convoluted. In this perimeter plot we're outlining here, we'll have houses with fruit trees or gardens, I'll decide later. The castle planner is another danger in this game. It can summon dark spirits whispering, "Make the fortress bigger, always bigger." Aetius, try building a palisade just to see how it looks. And there's no turning back, we'll end up building a stone castle with an outer palisade. And of course, that cliff there is begging for a watchtower, so we'll extend the palisade up there. And the mad spirit returns. Aetius, what if you make it stone instead of wood? Now this inner division feels redundant, better without it. Fortunately, in a brief moment of sanity, I turned the stone wall back into a palisade. Otherwise, we would finish construction in 2026. No way. But we will see that in the future of the channel. That crazy spirit has already given me ideas for combined fortresses across multiple regions with layered defenses of stone and wood, using cliffs and terrain to make them both impregnable and spectacular. That said, we'll end this episode with some cinematic bird's eye view of the latest version of the city as of the video's editing date. The beta impressions are still excellent, and they've really fired me up. So, in the next episode, we'll scale up the city massively and begin building a huge castle that will take several in-game years to complete. What do you think of that idea? See you in the next episode!